night. We had a good day today. We got a lot of stuff done here at the shop. And it's time to dyno some stuff. And by stuff, I mean the 7,500 RPM small block. You guys saw we went through, freshened some stuff up in that thing. It's lived a rough life, and it's held up really good from what we saw. But we fixed a lot of things, and today is the day where we get a horsepower and torque value from this thing. So we got it all set up on the dyno. It's just about ready to fire up, and I'm really excited. So we're obviously gonna see what it makes for horsepower and torque. That's, main purpose of putting something on the dyno. But we're also gonna see is, have I been spinning this thing to 7,500 RPM the last 3-4 years for any good reason? Maybe it won't make power that high. Who knows? So let's go inside, take a look at it set up. And we've got a pretty big crowd in here. We're gonna ask the people here what they think it's gonna make for power. So let's go check it out. Let's check out the setup. Thanks, Stevie, looking good without the sunglasses on. So here it is, all set up, ready to go. There's some loud noises in here, sorry about that. But we're looking good. Got everything hooked up, just about ready to fire up. Gonna put some heat in it before we make some pulls. And we should get some valuable data from this thing. So I want you guys in the comments below, guess what you think this thing's gonna make. Here's the specifics. 355 cubic inch, about 11 and a half to 1 compression. It's on 93. What heads are on that thing? GM bow tie heads, GM intake, port matched to each other, big solid roller cam. That's about it. Nothing too crazy. Essentially, stock bottom end, 4-bolt main setup. Nothing too crazy. So comment below what you think it's going to make, and we're going to ask these other guys what they think it's going to make. This might be the most popular engine that's ever came in the shop. There's so many people here that showed up to see it. Mike, what's this thing going to make for power?
I got up to probably
Mike, where are you going?
400 horse.
400? Okay. What's it going to make for power?
386.
Tim?
416.
416.
Yeah.
Big block guy, he's sandbagging me.
My guess was 385.
427.
400.
452. Stevie?
What's it going to make for power?
Oh, 500.
I was going to say 500. I'm saying 503. I'm topping Stevie on this. This thing's breaking records out here. Let's fire it up, see how it does. Oil pressure look good? So far, we're looking pretty good with this thing. Good oil pressure, seems to be running okay. Tim's in there, he's gonna set the timing, probably start out at like 34 degrees and mess with the carburetor a little bit and see what it does. went through, just put some new plugs in, found one of them was broken, saw it arcing. That was a really bad deal. That's what happens when you reuse spark plugs. Never do that. Throw them in the junk where they belong. And yeah, now we're gonna try and make some numbers, see what it does.
Feel great.
How high are you ready to send this first hit?
Tell me.
75.
Oh no.
Not around. 6,000, that's fair.
What do you wait on?
Bill's oil temperature, water temperature.
What do you want it to be at?
I'd like to see 150, but I don't know if I got that much good.
So I got the dyno sheet in hand. First hit, pretty decent. Let's take a look at this, see what it says. I'm not mad about it for the first hit. Let's say that. So here we go, 6,200 RPM, 419 horsepower, and our peak torque looks like it's about 378. So, I mean, not bad. I mean, it's not 500, but it's also the first hit. So, yeah, 419. Pretty decent. Let's maybe give it a few minutes and run it back, see what it does. Lost the belt. Yikes. All right, we'll have to investigate that. Turns out really bad pulley setup on this thing. The lower is pretty bent, so that explains why I just chucked that belt. So gonna have to go get a new belt. Gonna have to get a new lower pulley for this thing. That's not junk. Hopefully we can piece something together and make it work. But let's just see what it made for power. Maybe you know, maybe top end without having the drag of that water pump for a second or so. Maybe it made some more power. Who knows? Let's see. So not quite the 419 from before, but 417. I mean, margin of error, that's pretty good within a couple horsepower. Peak torque, 388 at 5,400. I think I misspoke on the first one. 387 was the peak on that first pull. So we'll head to the auto parts store, get a new belt, and see what we can source for parts around here to get it to where this doesn't keep throwing the belt. All right, it's a new day. Turns out auto parts store was closed. But we got our belt today. Pulley setup is a lot better now. We have actual non-bent pulleys, so very happy about that. Nothing else to do but run it. See what she does. All right, one other thing. We're running this without the breathers on the valve covers. If you saw in the video, you could see the dipstick lift out. So I think there's just a little bit too much restriction in these breathers. So we're going to try and get rid of some crankcase pressure And yeah, we'll see how she does. Pulley setup is much better. I'm very confident in that, so that's a good deal. Let's run it. Oh, yep. So if you see that number, it's a good thing, but I mean, also have some bad news. So 6,400 RPM, made 430 horse. Peak torque was what, 396 foot-pounds. So decent increase there. But we're having a little bit of an issue in this department. So if you'll notice, 6,400 is not 7,500. So we tried to really lean out this time and, well, take it up a lot higher. And there's unfortunately some sort of issue going on that's causing it to break up at anything above 6,400. And unfortunately, there's a pretty big line of other stuff that we need to be working on. So don't really have time to diagnose the problem. I mean, we looked at some small things, you know, right after that pull, and we're not seeing anything super obvious. So it's probably going to be a matter of having to run this engine at some other point, maybe in a vehicle, maybe on the dyno again, but probably not. So 430 horse, that's what we ended up with today. I don't know if I can call this the 7,500 RPM small block anymore because, well, didn't turn 7,500 RPMs today, but, you know, it's that in spirit. It is what it is. We'll get it figured out. And, I mean, judging by the sheet, I mean, it still kept climbing in power, so it wasn't falling off. I think there is more power to be made. But we'll have to investigate that at another time. If you guys need any dyno services for an engine you have or any machine shop needs, make sure you check out Wilson Motorsports here in Bay City, Michigan. Got my shop, rrutv, in the same building. Great place. A lot of fun to be had here. Good work that gets done. And yeah, it's just a great place to be. So bring your stuff over. We can work on it, get you whatever you need. And as always, appreciate your support in this matter. And we'll see you in a couple days.